How does Abby feel that you're prioritizing this podcast with a less than 2 day old child?
She doesn't know. She's asleep. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Dads of Dagobah, where we review the penultimate episode of Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 7, Crazy Dreams and Weird Dreams and something. What was it?
Like Dreams and Madness?
Dreams and Madness, that's what it was.
Which I wasn't quite sure how that fit in.
It's a reference to Balin Skull made a comment about it in the previous episode, or 2 episodes ago, about
Okay.
this is just Dreams and Madness, children's tales. We were all over the place, it seemed like, with this episode. But before we even get to that, word of the week this week, I'll start off, and it's the Turtle Club. Am I not turtly enough for the turtle? I'll have you know, I picked my image before Sean picked his. He probably used mine as a inspiration.
Well, last week we had talked about how they kind of look like the miniature Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So I got the rendition of the Ninja Turtles that was from like eight years ago or whatever, when they're massive.
They're massive and a bit too human-like.
And not teenagers at all.
Yeah, no, not teenagers. Can I just say, regarding the No Tea Turtle people, I know it's kind of like a little Ewok-y, but I appreciate that the rocks did not seemingly kill the people, but it merely stunned them so that Ezra or Sabine could then kill them. I appreciated that.
Did you want to hear my word of the week?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Chirrut Imwe.
Oh, Chirrut. Yeah.
Because Ezra's over here like, I don't need a lightsaber. I guess it was more closer to a Yoda quote than a Chirrut Imwe quote. But when he said it, I was like, I'm one with the Force and the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force and the Force is with me.
So Sabine has had his lightsaber for all these years, and he's just had to live by using the Force that way. I thought it was a cool little, like, I feel like a lot of times they'd be like, oh, sweet. Let the hand feel the sword, whatever it is from Lord of the Rings. Let it grip your sword again. But this is more like, I don't need it.
I feel like Ezra was like, listen, I don't have any faith, Sabine, that you can handle yourself. So keep the lightsaber, and I'm fine.
So is she like a Jedi now? I don't quite understand what she is.
We have never seen her use the Force in a combat setting, but her and Ahsoka clearly showed that they had a Force bond. More initiated by Ahsoka, but I mean, it takes two to tango.
Well, I mean, Luke called out to Leia, right?
Yep, and Sabine was able to recognize it and answer back. So, I mean, she's using the Force.
Did she answer back, or did she just receive?
Well, she said Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka said, I see her.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then the Great Mothers, I wanted Ahsoka to be able to see the Great Mothers and be like, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Great Mother. So be afraid. Ahsoka Tano's on the prowl.
We start off actually on, what was it? It wasn't some planet, I guess. We're not told the planet. With the New Republic arguing, and Sean, you no longer ascribe to their feelings, right?
In that first or second episode, whenever that was, when Hera was talking with hologram senators, I was like, the senators have got a point. And, I have to backtrack that a little bit with a little court-martial they were doing. First of all, I'm like, are there only 5 senators in the whole Republic? How are they holding this? Why does this one senator, who we're clearly supposed to hate, Senator Ziolo or whatever his name is, how is he wielding so much authority and power? And Mon Mothma sitting there like, I guess I have to do what you say. I'm like, Mon Mothma, put this man in his place. Get him out of here. He's single-handedly court-martialing one of the generals of the New Republic fleet. You would think more people need to be weighing in on that decision.
And it was just, is he like supposed to be the bad guy? Is he supposed to be like in cahoots with the remnants of the Empire?
Yeah, possibly, or he's just not buying the story and feeling like we need to move on, and I'm going to create my own name here. Oh, you're changing it up. Hold on, time out. History has been made on the Dads of Dagobah YouTube channel video podcast. Our first ever background switch mid-episode.
Listen, I already had the turtle theme, and then you picked turtles, and then when you were talking about that council, I was like, I was watching the show, and I remembered that's going to be a perfect background image, is the Ministry of Magic not believing Mr. Harry Potter about the return of Voldemort.
Listen,
and then when you're talking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll switch it. I'll switch.
I'm just going to chalk it up to the sleep deprivation, since you literally have a 2-day-old infant in your life right now. But I didn't realize you were going to be so sensitive about both of us having a turtle theme.
I just feel like when I was watching the episode, it very much seemed like the vibes from episode or book 5, right? Where he goes before the, what do they call it? The
Wizengamot.
Is that what it is?
Isn't it the Wizengamot?
Oh, I don't know. That doesn't sound right, but sure.
Well, someone consult the Potter Padres, the Padres of Potterverse YouTube channel,
and ask him what this is called, because when he said Voldemort was back, they didn't believe him, and Dumbledore was the only one who stood up for him and left him hanging high and dry. He's
back. He's back.
We got C-3PO, made a little cameo. Princess Leia sent him.
How did you feel about that cameo?
Probably better than the Leia cameo.
I feel like 10 out of 10. I loved it.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I loved it is because for so many moments for 3PO, he is used as kind of the comic relief, almost like he's incompetent a little bit, doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know what he's doing.
He is.
It was kind of nice to see him kind of coming in. He was kind of a boss. He was putting that senator in his place. Like, surely, Senator, you weren't trying to do this without inviting Senator Organa, the leader of the Defense Council, right, Senator?
He is a protocol droid, for that matter, right?
You notice at the very beginning, they're like trying to stop him, like, well, you need some identification. He's like, he's trying to pull. This might be an Easter egg to A New Hope. He's pulling an Obi-Wan Kenobi on them. He's like, you don't need to see my identification. I'm C-3PO, baby. I'm C-3PO.
And then he also said,
he's like, look at me. He's like, look at me. This face is my identification. All right, step to the side. Hero of the Republic coming through. Hero of the Rebellion.
You may not recognize me because of my red arm.
Yeah. You ever heard of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Leia Organa? They're alive because of me. Ask him about the trash compactor. Ask him about it.
Well, that was R2-D2.
Who was the middleman relaying the messages?
Yeah, he was doing an awful job at it too.
Did he get the job done or not?
I don't know if he got the job done. Yeah, that was fun. And Mon Mothma looks great as ever. I mean, she is in on the gist the whole time. She knows what's up. She knows there was no authority granted to Hera. So, cool.
Yeah.
I think this is setting up for... obviously, he's going to come back to their galaxy the next episode. They're going to have to confront him, or he's going to have some massive showing, and they're going to be decimated. It's kind of what I feel like is going to happen. But anyway.
Where I will still stick with the Senators is I'm still questioning if he comes back with a ragtag group of stormtroopers that are being held together with some ribbons.
Is it just one ship, too?
and one ship, what is the threat? Unless just a huge fleet of ships. I guess they alluded to the Moff Gideon thing. I guess, in the last episode of
Oh, yeah,
Mandalorian, there was that Shadow Council going on.
that's true.
Maybe
Yeah,
they're all going to unite under Thrawn. So I guess there is a threat.
yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that Shadow Council. Yeah, there's other remnants out there, and they're
Yeah.
all waiting for Thrawn to come back, right? Yeah. We then join Ahsoka and can't think of his name. Wu Tang, not Wu Tang. What's his name? Wu Yang.
They should name him Wu Tang. I'm only going to refer to him as Wu Tang from now.
There you go. And they're inside the mouth of the whale. And oh no, I mean we got an Anakin cameo. Totally forget about it.
For the briefest of moments, I thought we were getting straight up Force Ghost Anakin.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I'm like, Anakin is like Force ghosting, like he's in it now. But it was just a hologram. Still cool though.
Teaching her. I mean, I think it's like a similar scene to the season 7 of Clone Wars, and yeah, just kind of a nice. She's back in it. She's not relearning, but retraining herself with the Jedi.
Yeah. Also nice I feel like she's come to peace with Anakin and his fate and her, relationship with him and him being her master, because she ends that whole thing with, acknowledgement of he was a good master.
Yeah.
And she's not going to let, his fall to the dark side define her training or her memory of him.
Right. I love it. The whales exit hyperspace and enter straight into a minefield.
How in the world did they have time to set up that minefield?
I don't know. Because when What's-Their-Faces arrived, they didn't have any of that.
And they did say in the last episode, Thrawn was like, if you see any space whales, like, kill them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how? I guess we should have asked when they said that, how are they going to kill the space whales? Because they don't have any, they have the big hyperspace ring thing. But, well, in any case, I'm glad that we didn't get any confirmed kills of the space whales. They got out of there.
Yeah, they hopped in, hopped out, right? Are we going to see them again, you think?
I don't think so.
Huh. I think we might. I don't know.
I guess the big question is, how are they all going to get back? And so unless Ahsoka docks her speeder up, her Jedi cruiser up on the Star Destroyer.
Maybe they can have Ezra ask for another favor. I feel like these what's in it for the space whales here? After a while, it kind of becomes the Eagles of Middle Earth. Like, what's in it for them?
That's very true. And since they just jumped again, I'm like, where did they go? They're not going back to the galaxy they just came from, because they should have pulled a U-turn and gone back, but they're going straight again. They're going straight. I'm like, you're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
They're off into another galaxy.
We had a pretty pointless, it seemed. Well, not pointless. It got Ahsoka into hiding. These little ships that are totally indispensable. And she goes into hiding, and Thrawn knows just what to do to pull her out. Well, he doesn't know what to do. What he does is he waits for them to call out, and he uses the mothers during that time, right? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes. Part of Thrawn's whole character in the original books, in the new books, in Rebels, the TV show, is he's this strategic mastermind. And that he is so observant about who his enemies are, their culture, their background, their life experience, that he uses all of that to deduce what they're going to do. And I'm not saying they're doing a bad job at showing that in this show, but I'd like to see a little more. I feel like we're just getting little breadcrumbs, and I want to see Thrawn really put a plan together. Obviously, I think there's plenty of opportunity for that in future maybe not in the next episode because there's only one episode left, but a future season of truly seeing Thrawn versus the New Republic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's his whole character shtick is that he's unbeatable in terms of planning.
And even when he has defeats, he uses it to his advantage,
Yeah.
Either he gains information, or in this case, he had stalled enough time that really they can leave now,
Yep.
which is their main objective anyway.
So have we confirmed what the cargo is that they're loading up?
I don't think we've confirmed it. I think it's just from the catacombs. It's going to be either dead Night Brothers or Night Sisters and reanimated some way. What's in it for the Dathomiri ladies? What's in it for them? He's just constantly like, I need your assistance again. And then, I require your assistance again. It's just, they're just like, yes, of course.
Well, they're deferential to him. They call him my lord. So I'm like, why are they loyal to him?
Yeah.
You would think they're more powerful than him.
And do they not want to be on that planet? Do they want to get back to Dathomir?
I think this is going to be explained in, like, what is Baylan Skoll doing? What power is he seeking out that's greater than the Force and greater than the Night Mothers and all that? That was the only little tidbit of an explanation we got, is that they're scared of a power greater than their own, and they want to get off that planet. But I'm like, how long have they been on that planet? I'm assuming when Thrawn got there, they were already there.
Yeah.
It's like their ancestral home or something.
That's what I'm thinking too. Why do they need to leave? That's their place.
And why are they the only three left? It's those three and the turtle people. The planet is basically a barren wilderness.
Well, the turtle people and then the helmet people.
Oh yeah, the helmet people.
And the wolves anyway. But I just just confused. And what's the extent of their power? Is their power just like the Force, where really Thrawn can be like, find me Ahsoka, and like, you got it, balls in the air and found her,
Oh, did you see the TikToks and reels and stuff that we had said that they kind of were like the Fates when we were talking about it? And then when you look at what their names are in the credits, and then the Greek names for the actual Fates in Greek mythology, they're like identical. They're spelled a little differently, but it's like they're the same names of the three Fates. So clearly that's what they're meant to be.
Yeah. The birth, the death, and the what's the third one? The birth, the life, and the death?
I don't know.
Right?
Yes, that sounds like that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I'm like, and why is none of their magic green? I thought the magic's supposed to be green. Anytime I see them do anything, it's neon red lines coming out. I'm like, I want to see the green gas.
The smokiness. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess we also confirmed that the stormtroopers aren't reconstituted like what the Inquisitor was, because they died and they died, so they didn't explode into green mist.
Marok or Malik or whatever the guy's name was. Yeah, but that was like a very popular theory this week, as everyone was like, those stormtroopers are all reanimated zombies. But we did not see any evidence of that. They were going down like normal, with normal gunfire without exploding in a puff of gas.
And you would think by now they'd have better training, but they're just as incompetent.
Well, Sabine is the luckiest person I've ever met in my life, because she gets shot, she gets riddled with shots all over her body, exactly where she's wearing armor. But man, they can't do a headshot to save their life. I'm like, someone shoot that woman in the head.
Wasn't that the same with Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, where he's like surrounded by 18 people, and it's just like no one can hit him, and when they do, it's always in the Beskar.
All I remember is that the fight choreography for Book of Boba Fett, he was just surrounded on the streets of Mos Espa, and he's in the fetal position down on the ground, and they're like kicking him. I'm like, he's getting beat up bad right now. Like, someone get him to the Bacta, baby.
We have literally said back to the Bacta, I think, in every podcast since. Get me to the Bacta. And the spin move. The guy who did the spin move, remember? Helping Black Chrysanthemum back, and then...
I just can't believe that Boba Fett is using that Bacta tank after Black Chrysanthemum used it, because he's in there going... Got the Wookiee hair. They got the Wookiee hair floating around. It's just all congealed. He's like, oh, ugh.
Well, they've got that mouth thing in, right? The scuba mask. Anyway, enough about Book of Boba Fett. We should have a little thing in all of our podcasts when we get off on a Book of Boba Fett tangent.
If we were a big time show, we would pay an editor to do this, and there would be a Bacta counter on the bottom, and it would ding, 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 ding every time we said Bacta.
What else happened? Ahsoka was on the ship. She flies down, and she confronts Baylan. Oh, like Baylan and Shin, they separate, and he says something that's really interesting. I had it. It was like, don't be. Anticipation has the worst disappointment. What was it?
Impatience for a victory guarantees defeat.
That's what it was.
Or something like that. Wasn't it something like that?
Yeah. Guarantees disappointment? Anyway, whatever it was.
I think it was victory and defeat.
Yeah. Anyway, she's so blinded, she has no idea probably what he's talking about. She's like, whatever. Are we getting
it's interesting.
No, you go on and do your own thing.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's like, take your place in the new empire. Clearly you have ambition to do that. We're on different paths now. But what's interesting about that is that Thrawn clearly, he keeps bringing up like, Baylan Skoll's a wild card for Thrawn. He's like, why is he, what's going on with him?
Oh, it seems like this battle's missing one of our people.
Yeah. What? These are acceptable losses, especially considering the absence of Lord Baylan.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Like, and as if Morgan Elsbeth is like, she's sitting there with her mouth open drooling. She's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, what's her point? She
looks like a lost puppy.
Anymore.
She looks like a lost puppy dog, just like hanging on his every word. Like, what do we do? What do we do? I'm like, she's expendable. You should have sent her out to go find Ezra and said, see ya, peace out. The Star Destroyer's leaving. Come on, great mothers.
Her purpose has been fulfilled. She can now die. But do you have any more thought about what Baylan's after? A lot of people have been saying it's Bendu, that guy from Rebels,
Ah, Bendu. Does Bendu, like, keeping with the Harry Potter theme, does he apparate to different planets and just show up in random locations?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He kind of always stayed on Lothal anyway. It's not like he was all over the galaxy. Thrawn had to go to Lothal to talk to him.
Was he on Lothal? Or was it that other base they made? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But you're right. He was in one place. One place.
So, I don't know. What do you think Baylan's going after? Is it something else? Is it the origin of the Night Sister magic? Is it that they're just kind of harnessing but really have no control over, in essence?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever it is, I think we'll obviously see it in this finale, but I'm concerned that it might be like a reveal cliffhanger type thing of, ooh, we're going to have to explore this more next season, but it's like our actor who's playing Baylan is not available.
Yeah.
And so that's disappointing. That I feel like there's still a lot left for this character to explore, and we're guaranteed that this next episode is the last episode we have for this arc. I don't know unless they recast him.
Maybe they would recast him.
I mean, he's obviously become like kind of a fan favorite in the context of this show. I don't know that it's like people now put Baylan Skoll in the most iconic Star Wars characters where he can never be recast. And if they recasted Han Solo, I mean, you can recast Baylan Skoll.
Yeah, exactly. Han Solo, of all people, they did recast, right? Man, I was really thinking that Shin was going to meet her end. That was so interesting. I mean, well, first of all, watching Ezra fight was awesome. And then when Ahsoka showed up, you could just immediately tell she didn't stand a chance against Ahsoka. That was so easy for Ahsoka to just like, I don't even know what because Shin did force throw Ezra into the wall.
Yeah.
But then Ahsoka showed up and it was kind of game over.
Yeah. Well, I did think a little bit. I'm like, this is kind of, because it felt like there were like 50 stormtroopers that showed up, 50 night troopers. And I'm like, that seems a little far-fetched that Sabine and Ezra, Andy, Ahsoka even, the three of them took down. They were surrounded by 50 armed soldiers, and they were fine. Even with their force powers, and even with the stereotypical stormtroopers not aiming very well, I was a little bit like, all right, Ezra doesn't even have a weapon.
Yeah, I know.
But still, I did like seeing Ezra. I liked seeing Ezra fight Shin, and he even did the whole stopped her lightsaber thing.
Yeah, how sweet.
For a brief little second before Sabine came in. They were tag teaming it.
Ray did that first, right?
I feel like Ahsoka did much better in her duel with Baylan too than she did on
totally
Ghost or whatever, where she was only using the one lightsaber and it was like she was in her peak form. And when Baylan was like, "You can never defeat me," I'm like, bro, you're a cool character, but we haven't seen anything to make it feel like you're all powerful and you can't be defeated.
Yeah. And then she says, "I don't need to defeat you," right?
Yeah.
And then smokescreen.
Well, I'm like, what was Ahsoka and Hu Yang doing that they're like, she's like, I need to get down there. And then she lands next to Baylan.
Yeah.
Clearly not even close to the fight.
Yeah. And I'm going to fight you for a little bit, say a cool thing, and then run over here. Hu Yang, Wu-Tang, just drop me off over there. Okay.
But anyway, yeah, so I feel like seeing that Ezra fighting, that was cool. But again, I'm still like need to see something from Sabine with her force using, her training. Like what?
Well, maybe this next episode. I don't know, man. Anything else you want to say about this episode before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I feel like it was another really enjoyable episode. I'm all in on this now. I'm excited for the finale to see. I mostly want to see what is Baylan up to and how are they all going to get back home.
Yeah, get back. I like the idea that this is just kind of a one-off, going to one planet and one galaxy and then coming right back. I don't know that I want to introduce a whole new galaxy of stuff, you know? So
totally agree.
Let's keep it that way.
Totally agree.
Anyway, let us know what you think. Let us know what the name of this Council of Wizards is called. And as always, leave a like, comment, share this with your friends, show it to your coworkers. Right, Sean?
Totally. Cowabunga.
And next week we'll be talking about the season finale of Ahsoka. Sean, this has been the way.
A little variation there. I like that. We have finished speaking.
And that's it for the Dads of Dagobah. See you guys.
Bye.